It's late, and it's live, and there's good news galore to tell you tonight. First of all, very close to my girlfriend, actually, in Manhasset, North Shore LIJ Hospital. Its 1,000th patient has been released. Its 1,000th COVID patient has been released, and I am so proud of so proud of what they're doing in our medical systems right now. The solutions, the resources they're finding are just moving, aren't they? Their 1,000th patient, 46-year-old by the name of, well, his name is a 46-year-old. I don't know if they're naming the name, but a 1,000th patient out of their facility in North Shore. Also tonight, the marinas are opening little by little. The golf courses, the wedding industry could be seeing a bump because Andrew Cuomo is giving a okay to do online weddings. I'll get to that in a second. But just think of it. One of our hospitals in Manhasset, 1,000th patient. So while there's grisly death numbers that are still going, we've had the lowest number of deaths since April 2nd. We've had infections and diseases decreasing. We've had hospitalizations decreasing. The curve is dropping. Now, I'm not saying go out and have a party. I'm not saying if you do golf with 20,000 people, because that's not the answer right now. But this is all part of a way to use these stats and say, what can we open little by little? I don't agree with standing armed. And what is it? Is it Ann Arbor or Lansing? That's the capital of Michigan. But I don't agree with standing armed on the Capitol steps in Michigan. I don't. It might be Lansing because Michigan State's over there and Michigan is in Ann Arbor. Anyway, yeah, I identify capitals by where the actual state college is. So Ohio State's in Columbus. Columbus is the capital. Michigan State's in Lansing. Lansing's the capital. Anyway, Governor Whitmore, it's been reported, by the way, could be opening up and lifting restrictions little by little by May 1st. But I'm just proud to hear that our healthcare system is moving towards solutions, is moving towards solving problems. I'm proud to see our Nassau County residents coming together to deliver PPE equipment to those in need. Should we have federal assistance? Sure. But I'd love that we are rallying around each other if the stockpiles may be empty. By the way, do you know since 2003, they've known that stockpiles have not been as filled. This took everyone by surprise. So for our own people to step up and say, hey, we're going to donate, thank God for that. And them. There's just some good news galore. I mean, you think of it starting with the marinas. Okay, let me look this up for you. So the marinas are slowly going to be opening, and I'll tell you how right now in just a second. By the way, thanks to Houston Curtis for joining me earlier today. But in a tri-state effort, this is incredible. In a tri-state effort, New York State, New Jersey, and Connecticut are saying they will reopen marinas. Here's how they're going to do it. Strict social distancing and sanitation protocol must be followed, the governor said. Restaurants at those locations can serve only takeout and delivery. Chartered and rental services will not resume. So only private boats. Throughout this pandemic, we've worked closely with our friends in neighboring states to implement a uniform regional approach to reducing the spread of the virus. Aligning our policies in this area is another example of strong partnership, and we will help ensure there is no confusion or state shopping when it comes to marinas and boat yards. And so for the private sector and private yachts, they will be able to slowly but surely use them and actually keep the restaurants open and order from them. And this is critical. This is critical because as warm weather hits, people are want to get back out there and whatnot. So this will be an interesting start. So that's number one. Number two. Let's go to the golf courses, okay? This is a big deal as well. Andrew Cuomo today saying that New York golf courses, after being listed as non-essential and shutting them down, altered the guidance on Friday, saying golf courses could open, but with some restrictions. According to the Empire State Development, the state authority said golf courses are still considered non-essential, so they're not allowed to have any employees working. But they can use essential services, such as groundskeeping, to avoid hazardous conditions, and security provided by employees, contractors, or vendors. So while there may not be anybody to take the money, people can still pay their daily greens fees. For private courses, the rules say they may permit individuals access to the property, so long as there are no gatherings of any kind and appropriate social distancing of 6 feet between individuals is strictly abided. And that the security on the greens would enforce these rules. Now, public golf courses are either owned by the state, like Bethpage Park, including Black Course, or by individual townships. Parks and other public spaces are open, therefore, and except playgrounds and other areas of congregation where social distancing cannot be abided. Golf courses tried to stay open early on by doing things like raising cups and insert 2 up out of the ground, or putting styrofoam inside the cup so the ball doesn't go all the way down. Oh, okay. This way the flagstick can stay in and doesn't have to be touched. The use of motorized carts are also stopped, as were caddies. So golfers will have to carry their own bags or use push-wheeled carts, and that is how people are going to have to do it. They're going to have to carry their own bags or use push-wheeled carts. Now, I like to lighten the mood a little bit, so I'm going to do that just here and now on this Garrett Extra. I'm going to lighten the mood by saying, just don't be like Rodney Dangerfield, where he went haywire and did all the crazy dances on the golf course. We don't need that. That's not what we're talking about. What we're simply talking about is you can play golf, but do it at a distance. Don't overcrowd each other. So that was number 2. Number 3 of the openings to starting this economy again has been, let me show you this. And then I'll get you to the other breakthrough that I've seen today. Has been the fact that couples can now get marriage license remotely and have wedding ceremonies. That's right. According to Andrew Cuomo, New York couples can now get marriage licenses remotely and have wedding ceremonies. As my mom, who is a minister, points out, though, the clerk's office for New York City is still closed. And usually you have to have a witness for the marriage license. So if someone, I guess, could maybe mail their signature, I don't know, on the license as a witness, but maybe they'll allow Zoom. Cuomo said there is now no excuse when the question comes up for marriage. You can do it by Zoom, yes or no. Boy, what an internet connection. What a time for an internet connection to go down if you have to say the I do's, right? I know, not as funny. But seriously, though, because Cuomo believes there are divorce rates going up, he's now going to say marriage should be allowed. It's kind of interesting. So there are 3 good news And I'll have more information on the marriage licenses and all this other stuff. But marriages, golf courses, and boat and marinas, all slowly opening up. The economic valve is opening little by little. No matter what they say, they could clearly see that the federal government does want to head into a direction and is seeing a decrease, as are we, and they're seeing that it's time to start getting back to normal, little by little. And those 3 pieces of good news is huge tonight. Now, one other thing that I wanted to get your attention. It's called Distribute Bio. I mean, ever have a preview in Netflix where you see a documentary preview and you're like, this is interesting. So Distributed Bio has been working on influenza flu vaccines, right? Well, how about this? Distributed Bio has now been working to deal with COVID-19. They wanted to engineer. And by the way, people at this lab in Distributed Bio in San Francisco continued to go in even during the shelter in place to try and figure out a solution. Our strategy was to engineer a panel of anti-SARS antibodies to make them recognize and block the coronavirus. The result of that work is a panel of ultra-high affinity therapeutic antibodies to neutralize COVID-19. The work leveraged both the Distributed Bio Superhuman 2.0 human antibody discovery technology and the Tumbler computational antibody optimization technology to discover thousands of antibodies against the coronavirus in 9 weeks. Stay tuned on social media and take a look below for more information and our therapeutics program. National governments should pay for anti-COVID-19 therapeutics to reach the world, but this is a crisis and we need to move fast. So if you have some money, they ask to donate below. DistributedBio.com. Read it here. 9 weeks to discover thousands of antibodies and to kill off coronavirus. There's something there at Distributed Bio, so thank you for all your efforts. We will get through this together. And the back and forths, look beyond the back and forths, because there's actual openings happening. There's actual movement moving us forward, everybody. Yes, stay at home, flatten the curve, but let's be honest, open things slowly but surely. That is my Garrett Extra for Saturday, April 18th, 2020. And we shall see where life moves us in the next days ahead. But for now, we were live. Today was live. The news, the good news, came later and later. But it was galore. I'm Alexander Garrett. Have a great rest of your Saturday night.